Yes, we are live.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Jorge, and I am with Dagmara. We are in La Casa Dorada in Tarragona, in La Costa Dorada, very close to the beach. And Dagmara is our new staff member. She joined 2 weeks ago,
Three.
3 weeks ago, and she's bringing many different talents. But today, what we want to present is bioenergetics. Dagmara will tell us a little bit what is bioenergetics, the benefits, and how can you do this practice at home. So,
Yes.
Dagmara,
Uh-huh.
what is bioenergetics?
Okay, so to say it really short, bioenergetics is a type of exercises and certain, I would say, specific settings, and it's a type of therapy to the body. So basically, you bypass your mind and you work on your patterns through your body, because our body holds a lot of suppressed feelings, a lot of patterns, a lot of coping mechanisms, and all of them are written in our body structure, in our muscular structure. So we often work on our habits and patterns and let's say things that repeat in our lives and coping mechanisms only through talk therapy, or like through even therapy that goes a little bit into emotions. And obviously they are good, and it's good to know our patterns, but it's often, as you probably know, it's very hard to change them. So what bioenergetics help you with is to bypass the mind, bypass the talking, oh, I have this pattern, I have this coping mechanism. For example, I don't know, it's hard for me to set boundaries, or it's I don't feel when I can say no or yes. Like we are really lost in setting our boundaries, for example. And we can talk about it forever in talk therapy, and it not always changes in our life.
Yeah.
And what bioenergetic helps us with is to get in touch with our body and release those patterns from our muscular structure, and then the body faster responds to situations. For example, with boundaries, the very important signal from our body is anger. And often if we are not in contact with our body, we don't even know we are angry. It just happens after. So doing these exercises helps us to get in contact with our body, get in contact with our emotions. And if we are in contact with our emotions, we then know really what we want and what we don't want. And that helps us to make a decision and set the boundaries.
Okay. And how often should we do this practice every week?
I do it myself 3 times a week. I mean, it's good to do it every day, but obviously if you even do it once a week, it's good. So as often as you can, but it also requires time sometimes for integration, because it can go really deep, the emotions can come up. And it's not only in order to get in touch with the so-called negative emotions, because I don't want to say they're negative, but the ones we don't want to feel. But the fact you access the emotions like anger, sadness, fear, shame, and you are in contact with them and you process them through all these exercises, it also help you get in contact with like joy, pleasure, the sexual energy, which is the creative energy. So as the name of the life is, like how to be more creative in your life, and that's the tool that is very powerful.
Okay.
Because you can unlock all this suppress, because we not only suppress positive, negative, so-called negative emotions, we also suppress the positive one, like joy and pleasure. If we cannot feel pain, we cannot really feel pleasure either, because it's all suppressed. So our receptors, our body doesn't respond.
Okay. Do you think it's possible to learn this technique online or through videos, and then to do this practice at home in a personal level?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
You can.
Okay.
There are certain practices that are like a staple for bioenergetics. So you can learn the simple exercises and just do them at home. Like it can be like your daily routine. And there's also more that go a little bit deeper into therapy, into confronting certain patterns in your life or certain situations. And those you can do in group settings or like in my group, which I'm planning to do.
What is the range of age for this practice? Can anybody practice? Or
Yes, I think anybody can practice. I've never worked with kids, like young kids. I don't know how would that work. But adults and teenagers, old people, it's never too late to change your life.
So it's really accessible. Anybody can really learn easily
Yes.
and practice this at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So it's not very demanding or challenging. It's simple movements that.
Yeah, the movements are simple and you can learn them through the videos because they're not like complicated and they often don't need adjustments like with yoga, for example. You often, not often, but sometimes you might do it wrong and you need somebody to show you, to adjust you. With bioenergetics, it's when you really listen how is it explained, you cannot really do it wrong. So yeah, so it's easy.
What is the minimum time for a session?
Okay, good question. Well, even 3 minutes a day, it's good.
Oh,
you know,
that's
there are
good.
exercises that you can do 3 minutes.
Yeah.
If you don't have time, for example, and you're very busy. So it's better to spend 3 minutes a day, which is not that much, it's not demanding, and already something is happening in your body.
Okay, so just with 3 minutes you can already feel some benefits, some liberation in your body and in your mind.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that after 3 minutes you already feel liberation, but definitely you can. Yeah, it's a starting point. You know, to release energy from your pelvis or the tightness. You know, this is where we store in our pelvis, in our hips, in our all this area here. We store a lot of tension. Therefore, often also our sexual life, it's not so how to say that. We might not feel it as well because it's suppressed. So the suppression causes also the body not to feel ourselves in this area. So also the bioenergetic helps us to release the tension, release the tension from the pelvic floor, and have more feeling more alive there, which means having more sensitivity and as what it entails, more pleasure, right?
So the movements are more focused on the pelvic area?
No, they are focused on all your body.
Okay.
So they include feet, your knees, your thighs, your pelvic area, your shoulders, because we hold a lot of tension here as well. And that's what I remember right now. For example, I am the example of a person who walks like this. You know, so it's the way I was raised made me to a little bit withdraw from life, you know, to become small.
Okay.
And that's also what is the reason that we don't shine in life. We're not so creative because we're playing small. You know, in order to reverse that, again, we have to tap into the flow that is in our body and release it. So that's why I chose to do bioenergetics 2 years ago.
Very good, very good. So what is in our mind, our thoughts, our emotions, this has like an impact in our body, in the way our body express itself. And by doing this practice, you can change the position and the expression of your body, and you can liberate any tension, any contraction, and make the energy flow better through the body.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the body structure that we have right now. It's let's say consequence of the way we were brought to this world as well, through the pregnancy and everything that happened through pregnancy, the delivery and a small baby, whatever needs were not met, let's say, the body compensate. So for example, it was too many emotions for a child to feel. We create like a shield, like armor basically, to keep our body tense, our muscle tense, so we don't have to feel the pain, which is in our
it's
heart.
It's like a protection,
example.
no? We try to protect from the world.
And you can protect this way, which this is my pattern, but you can also protect being too erect and too straight and have like overbuilt chest muscles, not to feel what is happening underneath, you know. And it's not something that we do consciously. It's something that just happens through the way we are being raised, and we have to cope with difficult emotions that a child is not able, basically.
Okay.
So through the exercises we can release that tension that you have in your shoulders, in your chest, or whatever it is.
Okay.
And through the release of that tension, the energy starts flowing, and you start making different decisions, because it's not through your mind that you say, oh, I should be more creative, and I should do this, and I should do that, which is again a judgment. You just start doing things. You know, they come to you because there is a flow you unlock.
So the main benefits to do this practice is to release the tension from the body, to allow the energy to flow again, and to release old mental patterns and structures. Are there any extra benefits?
I think that's already a lot of benefits, don't you?
Okay.
I wrote something because sometimes I forget. So it's what you said, which is releasing the tension, which is allowing the energy to flow, which is tapping into what we're feeling, which helps us to create boundaries. And what happens when we create healthy boundaries, we are more self-confident, we feel empowered, because our territory is marked, what helps,
and you feel safer.
And then you feel safe,
more confident.
And you know you can go forward because you are safe. And the reason we don't go forward in life is because we don't feel safe. There's always fear to go, right, to do new things. So that helps you with that.
Practicing this regularly can be a way to overcome fear and limitations.
Yeah, I wouldn't say overcome, because that would mean that we'll condemn fear as something bad.
Okay.
But it's to get in touch with that feeling.
To be aware of it.
To be aware of it.
And to transform it into something positive.
Yeah, could be to transform, or could be just to release. And even the fact that we give attention to the fear that is in our body, instead of suppressing it, is already a form of kind of becoming friends with our feelings, because it's a misconception that we can get rid of negative feelings. You can't really.
It's more about being aware and embracing, accepting, integrating them.
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
And a very important benefit of practicing bioenergetics is sexual energy, which is not only sexual energy as how to call it, in terms of like having sexual activities, but also as a creative energy, because it's life force. The sexual energy creates life, and it gives us not only more pleasure as I said, as a sexual activity, more pleasure, but also gives us more expression, more creativity, and what's I think the most important, life, because sex is life. If there was no sex, then life wouldn't exist, and a human being is driven by instincts, and sex is one of them, and it has bigger spectrum than only procreation. It has also that vital energy, the creative energy, just the feeling of being alive. And I think even that single benefit is like,
it's worth to try. How long have you been practicing these techniques?
Me, not that long in terms of like decades and centuries, but I would like to say we have 2021, more or less 3 years, 4 years. But I saw benefits really fast after maybe few months. I struggled with depression before, and I went to many different therapies. I did meditation and yoga and whatnot, like really lots of different modalities. And I'm not saying they didn't help me, they also helped me, but and maybe they kind of brought me to that point that then it was activated faster by using bioenergetics. But really, after a few months, I felt transformation in my body. I could open all these emotions that were really suppressed, because depression is basically suppression of emotion, suppression of self.
Okay.
So it was like really like the more I practiced, the faster I could allow the emotions to flow through me, and then and then I learned how to integrate them, accept them, and that transformed into just being more myself and allowing myself to create, to be. Then I knew what I want, like, because for half of my life I was lost, I didn't know what I want. So it really gave me a lot of like vital energy and satisfaction also.
Could it be possible to have a trial session with you, to book like a trial session if somebody wants to try for half an hour to see how they feel? Can they book a session with you?
They can, that's possible, but what I'm trying to do right now is to have like weekly, I don't know how many times a week, but I want to post in my group like short exercises weekly, so people can access and try. And I'm creating a program for the future. There'll be a course that you can take. Not only with bioenergetic, also with inner child therapy and NLP and other therapies that I'm trained in. And the combination of all of these elements can really change life, I think, because it changed mine. That's why I'm so passionate about it.
And you want to share these benefits with everyone?
With everyone, and with all the visitors of Casa Dorada, obviously, and my friends that live here.
I have to say that I already tried a session with Dagmara last week, and it feels really, really good. I was feeling very, very relaxed and harmonized after the session.
Thank you.
So you will publish in your Facebook profile?
I'm going to publish in my group classes that we do here in Casa Dorada with bioenergetics.
Okay.
So people can join. And maybe...
So you have like a Facebook group?
Yeah, I have a Facebook group when actually we are making the video right now.
Okay, so this is the people of the group.
And so it will be accessible to everybody who wants to tap into the vital energy.
Very good. So thank you very much for your attention, and check the news from Dagmara.
Thank you for having this interview, and see you guys soon. What do we do?